Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Safety Systems. For nearly 20 years, Safety Systems has been protecting East Tennessee homes and businesses. Best equipment, and they offer terrific monitoring services. Call them. Tell JJ Surlis that the Sports Source sent you. JJ's a good guy. Call him. Call the folks at Safety Systems. All right. Guys, what I want to know is the roster. We got a couple minutes here. I'll start with my players down there. Sterling, I don't want to put you on the spot.
Awesome.
You work over there, I get it. But this roster, there's some talent there, but you've had defections, injuries, retirement, if you will, for Jack Journal. The lines, defensive and offensive, are a concern to me. What would a new coach inherit if a new coach comes in here next year in terms of the roster? Do you feel good about it, or would there require a little bit of a rebuild?
I would think a little bit of a rebuild, but I would say that they're fairly solid. But coaches want their own players, so they're going to come in and bring a few, as many as they can.
And try and run off some of the ones that are here. That's pretty much
right.
the standard operating procedure. Sterling, what kind of talent would be left on this roster in your view?
I think the talent is great as long as it's healthy. We've had some incredible injuries that have been detrimental to the outcome of our seasons this last year and this year. The two juniors, Kirkland Jr. and Kelly Jr., not being on defense this year, that hurt us. Chantel not being 100%. So we've got the talent. It's going to keep it healthy. And, of course, we're going to need a little supplement in there with the new coaching style if the coaches come, as I said.
Jimmy and Josh, just very quickly, your thoughts on the roster in 2018. I'm getting a lot of people saying, well, whoever steps in gets a stacked roster. It's stacked compared to what Butch Jones inherited. That's true. It's much better.
Yes.
But along the lines, and it's hard to win the SEC when you don't have the lines, I just see a lot of holes for 2018.
I'm not as optimistic about the talent. I think the talent's overrated. I think the talent's a lot closer to Kentucky than it is Alabama and Georgia. And my problem is the offensive line. I mean, how many really good offensive linemen do you have coming back? You're losing about 6 of them, counting the seniors and those that have either quit, can't play, whatever.
Yeah.
Defensive line, is Tuttle ever going to be what he could have been? Doesn't look like it. Khalil McKenzie looks like a very average player who maybe should be a guard. Vickers is gone. Who are your defensive tackles next year? I'm not that optimistic about where Tennessee's talent is. I think it's okay. I don't think it's special at all.
Josh, especially on offense, do you think it's a talent problem, or do you think that this coaching staff isn't getting enough out of them? Do you think a new coaching staff could come in on offense and fix some things?
I do think it's a mix. I think you have some nice skill talent that maybe hasn't been utilized to its best ability. I think Ty Chandler last night was an example of that. But I also would say that the depth of talent would be my concern. If you deal with injuries, if you go with the top 10 to 12 players, I think you have a really good group of talented players. But injuries are going to happen, and I think Tennessee's had some issues in the last couple of years with recruiting to handle that.
Okay, very good. When we come back, we are going to do some quick thoughts, quick slant questions on last night's Kentucky game and on a little something about Cade Mays for those of you who didn't see it in terms of recruiting. Another one to Clemson. I don't know what's this about. We'll talk about it coming back on the Sports Source.